Good afternoon, New Orleans. Good afternoon, New Orleans. My name is Anthony Bridges, Community Development Lender with NOLA Lending Group, a division of Fidelity Bank. And I bring you greetings this afternoon on behalf of the New Orleans Regional Black Chamber of Commerce. We have another fantastic guest here joining us, and we are excited to bring this to you. And as always, I have my phenomenal co-host, Mr. Edward B. Coulon-Smith.
Greetings, people of Radio Land. Once again, thank you for joining us on your lunch break. So if you're having lunch and the chicken is good and it's finger licking and all that kind of stuff, please don't stop what you're doing, but key in with your ears and listen to everything we have to say.
All right. And as always, if you all want to chime in on the conversation with us, feel free to reach us on the WBOK 1230 AM talk line, and that's at 504-582-9422. All right. So this afternoon, we have our amazing guest, Mr. Ken James, Program Director of the New Orleans Job Corps. Mr. Ken, welcome to the show.
Well, good afternoon. Wow. Good afternoon. It's a pleasure to be here. I really appreciate you guys, Ed, inviting me. Appreciate that. This has been in the making for a minute. He said, I got to have you on, man. I got to have you on. So
with that being said, I'm going to ask the first question.
All right.
And I know this is going to be like that volleyball where you can spike and you just put it up there, or that softball or that easy pitch that you can knock out the park. Who
we hope.
is Ken James? Tell us about Ken James.
The hardest question, in the world. How much time we got? Is this,
we got 30
this a half-hour show? Okay. No, I like you said, currently I'm the program director at the New Orleans Job Corps Center, but I have roots in the record industry and the music industry and broadcast and education throughout my career. So I was kind of led by purpose into dealing with young underserved people, and something I tried to avoid and get out of for a minute. Because I love the music industry and all that, but God had another plan for me, and here I am, and it's great work. It's really good work to be able to help move our young people beyond what they think they can do. So that's the short version of who I am and what I do.
So for those who may not be familiar, what is Job Corps, and what services does the New Orleans Center specifically provide?
Well, Job Corps is a program nationally that started in 1964, and it was designed to get underserved youth jobs, period. There was, at that time, it was just a trade school. There were no academic components to it because back in the day, you could get a job, good job, with a good wage without having that high school diploma. But as that changed, so did the program. We serve young people, underserved young people, and we have to say that, between the ages of 16 and 24. And the unique thing about New Orleans Job Corps is that we are non-residential. Most of the Job Corps centers in the country, and I think they're, 124, right, something like that. Most of those centers are residential. The students live on center.
Okay.
And our students leave and come back every day. And we've got six trades for students to get into, and of course we have that academic component if they don't have their high school diploma. That's something that we do as well. The 6 trades, I'll give you that because I know that question will come up.
I was about to come.
The 6 trades are culinary, electrical, carpentry, clinical medical assistant, CMA, certified nursing assistant, CNA, and office administration. That's the 6 trades that we have on center. And I think that we do a phenomenal job. And unfortunately, I say that we are the best kept secret in terms of workforce development, because we are run by the Department of Labor. They have certain standards that we have to go by, and so we don't do commercial advertising like the things that you say. We don't have a jingle like the great jingle, the WBOK jingle that we just heard. Right. We don't have those to play. And so we really don't do a lot of advertising. When I say the program is good and it works for our young people, it works phenomenally well. Phenomenally well.
Can you tell about, because you did used to work in a residential
Yes.
Job Corps.
Yes.
So can you tell about that and also the pros and cons of residential versus non-residential?
Well, yeah, I worked in Homestead, Florida. There was a Job Corps center there, and I went to, which is right outside of it's like deep South Miami, and also worked at the Miami Job Corps Center, which are both residential. They were very large centers. The onboard strength or our capacity at New Orleans is 186 students. At those two centers, it was, I think one was 350 and the other one's 400, the number of students that were there. The good thing about residential is you have a captive audience. The students came from at that point all parts of Florida and a couple of states outside of Florida, but all parts of Florida, and they would live on center. So that means that with a residential assistant, they would wake the students up in the morning. They would have to make their beds. They would have to be at breakfast a certain time, and they'd have to be in class a certain time. Here, with a non-residential center, the retention issue is difficult because we have students that come to us as a safe haven. Mm-hmm. New Orleans Job Corps Center, we serve, everything's free. Like Ed likes to say, it's free 99. That's how much it costs to go to Job Corps. But, we have breakfast in the morning for the students. The training day is from 8 a.m. to 3:30. Breakfast in the morning, lunch in the afternoon, and everything else is instructional time. And then they leave and they go back many times to circumstances that are really unstable for them. So coming to Job Corps is an escape for a lot of students from their own reality. When I say we love on them, we have free medical, free dental, free vision. We have free mental health counseling. We have free placement. So when a student finishes at Job Corps, we place them in jobs because we've got partnerships all over the country and some advanced training opportunities outside of the state. And so the difficult thing for them is to get there.
Right.
Is to get there many times in the morning because we have students with children, childcare issues, transportation issues, that type thing. So our counseling, our great counseling department and other departments in the center, we make sure that we touch base with the students. How's it going with your child? Do you have childcare issues? Then we tap into some of the resources that we have to take care of those issues and transportation, other things like that. So
What are the age ranges and eligibility criteria for someone to enroll in the New Orleans Job Corps?
Age range 16 to 24. 16 to 24. And the criteria, that there is a financial criteria to get in. You have to be at a certain level. I don't want to say a poverty level. I don't want to say that. But most of our students that come in, they or their families have financial challenges and can't afford to go to college. And then everybody doesn't want to go to college.
Right.
So we have, and when I say we have brilliant students, we have brilliant students, and we have no more knuckleheads than any other than any other school in the city. A lot of people will pass our building and say, well, "What's that building? I've never been in." And we've had so many business partners just come in and say, "Wait a minute, I've always passed this building. I've never come in." And when you come in, you see how pristine it is. It's clean. Right. You don't hear noise in the hallways, and there's not a lot of. It's beautiful inside. It's a beautiful courtyard. So we make the environment pleasing for our students so that they'll want to come.
Right.
They'll definitely want to be there. And then I think the sad part for us many times is that we've got to send them back into their reality in the afternoon. So that's kind of what we look like with it.
What makes Job Corps, in particular New Orleans Job Corps, a special place for you personally and professionally?
It's a special place because we see our students come in and make 180-degree turns. we had a student, and Ed knows this student. We have a partnership with Disney, with the Disney, and they do hiring events. They come here and do hiring events, fantastic hiring events. And we had one student. He came in. I think Caleb was 16, maybe 17 when he came in. He was young, but I'm 6'4". So but I had to look up to him. That's how tall he was. Big old, just brawly dude, right? And he refused to wear the uniform. Right. I'm not wearing this uniform, man. I can't do it. I said, no, dog, you gotta wear the uniform. No, I ain't wearing that. So I looked at him the first day. I said, he ain't gonna make it, y'all. He already said I'm not following, protocol at all. But just fast forward, I could tell his whole story, but just fast forward to now. He is working for Disney and has gotten, and this has been less than a year. He has gotten he was in our culinary program, and he's gotten 2 raises. I think Caleb might be 19, got his own apartment, just bought a car. They look at him so highly there. He is the poster child for what Job Corps is and what we hope for all of our students.
Right.
So Anthony, imagine this. I was in the mix of that whole conversation, and I came up with the bright idea of, hey, I went to the center director. I said, look, hey, can he keep the pants that he has on today, and then tomorrow come back in his own pants? So, I did some verbal jiu-jitsu and stuff like that. And she was like, yeah. So then he made it to the next day with his own pants, his own pair of khakis, because he refused to wear the ones the Job Corps had.
Because they were too big.
Yeah, he said, so he came back with his own pair of khakis, and hence now he's on a whole nother level. This guy, and if Mr. James 6'4", I ain't but 5'10". And I'm looking at this dude like, oh, it's going to be tough.
I'm siding him up. I'm like, all right, I know I'm going to have to fight him. So let me figure out how I'm a little older than him, so I got to figure out my first move. But what I say was the nicest guy when he did his interview with Disney. He came in my office, and when I say he boo-hoo cried, like we said in New Orleans, he cried. He said, Mr. James, I did so bad in this interview. It was horrible. So, I had to give him words of encouragement. Man, don't think that way. Don't worry about it. Don't worry if it's going to be all right. And he just thought he crashed and burned. And later on that day, they told him that he got the job.
Wow.
And to see the look on his face and the feel, the relief, and for him never to have, I don't think Caleb had even flown before, have to fly to Orlando, and they put him up in a really nice apartment and all that stuff, and they live on the grounds of Disney, and to see him thrive the way he did, because a lot of young people, and not all young people, you get so accustomed to being in New Orleans or where you were. When I was in Miami, and I had people that lived in Miami, had never been out of Florida, had never been to North Florida. Right. They live in Miami-Dade County, and that was their world. So it's just he is just, and I've got a lot of success stories like that. We had a young lady.
I got one in particular.
What's that?
About the young lady who cussed you out from A to Z. And
which one?
Ended up graduating from the program and went to SUNO.
Yeah.
And became the leader of the street team for Job Corps.
Yes.
Within the street team was a group of students that went around to other places when we went out doing recruiting. And she was one of the main recruiters and made herself the president of the street team.
That's right.
And, I was like, wow.
Yeah.
When she came in, and at that time, I was the SPO, which is Student Personnel Officer, which is like the dean of students. And I went in there, and as she was cussing him, I was like, oh, she ain't going to make it. She is not going to make it. But,
But she know what?
persevered.
And what it takes to do what we do, it's a passion project.
Yes.
It's a purpose-driven project that, we're not in there getting rich. We are in there for a purpose. And this young lady, and her name is Destiny, my baby Destiny. I love her. I called her the other day, but we stay in touch. And you see the kind of trauma. Many times we don't know the trauma. Some of the stories that we get from our young people is heartbreaking.
Right.
But we see the trauma. I understood that she was going through something. We gave her the counseling she needed right there on center, encouraged her, stayed with her, showed love and compassion. And that's another 180-degree turn, because then they learn how to come back and say, Mr. James, Mr. Smith, I knew I messed up that time. I was going the wrong, I was upset. When you find out the backstory, then you start feeling bad about why.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying about what could have actually caused that kind of reaction. And she's another one of the success stories. I'll give you one quick one now. We had a young lady that went to Xavier right next door. Mm-hmm. She was a student at Xavier, left Xavier, came to Job Corps, and took culinary. She took a day off from Job Corps to come back to Xavier to graduate. She had not quit Xavier. Mm-hmm. She was a soon to be graduate, but she wanted to go another course. Right. She got a biology degree from Xavier, and came to Job Corps to be in the culinary program. Wow. And now she works at Disney as well. She wanted to do culinary.
Right. That's what makes programs like this so important. Because a lot of times people, and I'll just say corporate America, right? They see people in different stages, but you mentioned the trauma that a lot of people face, yes. A lot of kids face, and a lot of times they just don't have an outlet to deal with the trauma. I say all of our people are inherently good people. It's circumstances a lot of times put them into certain situations, and programs like the Job Corps can really help to kind of bring those kids in, especially those that want to be helped.
Exactly, and we have some students, young people that come in that are still not sure of what they want to do. They come in with the street mentality, and just some of them can't. I don't even want to say conform. Certainly don't want to say capitulate, but they just don't want to ascend and move themselves. And some of those students don't make it. Some of those students don't make it because we provide every service that they could possibly need inside of our building and outside with resources that we've gathered. So it is truly a great program for any young people that are looking to do something other than, and like I said, some people don't want to go to college, but the one example I gave was a young lady that was in college and still came and got a biology degree.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'll take this time to talk about, because we bring this conversation on behalf of the Regional Black Chamber of Commerce, just to quickly tell you a little bit about the Regional Black Chamber of Commerce. The New Orleans Regional Black Chamber of Commerce provides year-round opportunities to engage with the New Orleans business community. New Orleans Regional Black Chamber of Commerce tracks local, state, and federal issues that affect our members and advocates for businesses from the business viewpoint. We have various networking events to connect our members to the industry professionals and procurement officers. Both novice and veteran entrepreneurs have access to our educational resources and events to help them make smart business decisions. So people always ask, why should I join the Regional Black Chamber of Commerce? And the answer is simple. The buying power for black business is on the rise. More and more large companies are looking to partner and work with minority businesses, excuse me, and where could you find the largest collection of minority businesses other than the Regional Black Chamber of Commerce? The number two reason is that same population of companies and agencies seek us out because of our ability to effectively connect businesses to opportunities. And lastly, creating opportunities for our members is our top priority. It's our goal to ensure our member businesses and organizations bring value to the business community, are competitive, and be sustainable for future generations. So, Mr. Ken,
mm-hmm.
How important is the relationship between organizations like Job Corps and Chamber of Commerce in strengthening the local economy?
Really important because we provide people to go into the workforce, well-trained people to go into the workforce. Our relationship with the chamber and other businesses, and what it does is a relationship with the chamber opens up more doors for businesses to know who we are and for us to know who they are. These are businesses many times that we will have memorandums of understanding with, so that our students can go into what we call our work-based learning program, which happens throughout as they advance in their training. Then we put those students in the actual work environment. Some of those businesses that we have those WBL agreements with, and they have on-the-job training. They work. We cover them insurance-wise, everything. So if they slip and fall, if they come in a WBOK to work, they slip and fall, we cover that. We've got all that. So there's no risk to the employer. There is only benefit for them. And the students benefit because they can actually go in and get some hands-on training. And the hope is, and the proposal and the plan is that after spending 6 weeks at this company, the company says, okay, we like this student, and they know what's happening, so we're going to hire them.
Right.
So it's a natural pipeline that we like to create with our business partners, throughout the city.
And I'm glad that came up because I was going to ask you, how long has New Orleans Job Corps been a member of the New Orleans Regional Black Chamber of Commerce? And I am a product of that because while I worked at Job Corps, I became the liaison for New Orleans Regional Black Chamber of Commerce. Then later became a board member, and here I now sit as the chairman of the board.
Right.
So without Job Corps, I would not be here.
Right.
But at the same token, Ms. Ken, we will be sending y'all the invoice. and we will also be looking for somebody to be that representative from Job Corps with the New Orleans Regional Black Chamber of Commerce. And I do believe you have already agreed.
So talk about I've been voluntold, talking about on the spot. Like I could say, nah, man, I'm not messing with y'all.
So I have a question. How can local businesses, particularly Black-owned business, partner with Job Corps in terms of internship, apprenticeships, and hiring graduates?
I will. What I'll do is I'll give a number right now, which is the best way to get in, and that number to our work-based learning or our community liaison person. Her name is Samantha Williams, and a lot of people listening go, Sam? We know Sam. She's an incredible person that works with the community. And her direct number is 504-484, what is it? 3513. 504-484-3513.
Hey, Sam. Hey, Ms. Geneva. Hey, so if you want to call in right now, we got about 4 minutes left. So please dial 504-582-9422, and you get to speak directly to King James.
Look at God.
So, Mr. James, what are some of the biggest challenges facing Job Corps today, and how are you addressing them?
One of the biggest internal problems is our retention piece, getting the students that have some of those barriers, those transportation, childcare, just life battles, man. I mean, housing insecurity and things like that. We've had students that have been homeless that come to our center and do really good work. I mean, they're really, trying to change their lives. That's the biggest thing for us to help them get beyond those barriers, to be able to show up every day. That's honestly the biggest challenge because many of them want to, and life's
right.
And
life
be life,
yeah.
and it doesn't it doesn't allow them to. So, and one of the biggest external challenges that we have now is some administration issues that might affect us. All the budget cuts from the national level. Which we have had a few budgets cut of programs that we've that we have, and I think that's one of the uncertainty of what happens with the program in the future, just because of the possibilities of cuts being made to this vital program, because everybody can't afford to. And I always remind the students that the senators, congresspeople, and those people in D.C. that are making the decisions for this program, the funding of this program, their kids don't go to Job Corps. Their kids are in private school. Right. So I need you guys to come in here, take this very seriously, grind and get the business done. In the eventuality that something could happen budgetarily that could negatively affect us.
Right. All right, so we got a caller. Mr. Ed Robinson, welcome to the show.
up, Brother Ed?
Good morning. How y'all doing?
We good.
Good. Good morning or
Good,
afternoon.
good. Yeah, I just had a question. We've tried to work with Job Corps before when we were hiring for JSS. We just need to know who to contact when we do have work and when we can hire some of your students part-time. We were in the security business.
Okay. We have MOUs, memorandums of understanding, with a couple of security companies as well. You can contact that number that I just gave, and I'll give it to you again, 504-484-3513. That's 484-3513. And speak to Samantha Williams. And I'll give my number as well if people want to have, an option. And that's 504-484, what's my number, Ed? 3560. I never called myself, 504-484-3560. But yeah, we've had students that we have a great relationship with Sodexo Live, the convention center. They hire our students all the time. We've had students that have worked at, what's the big golf tournament? Just
Zurich Classic.
Zurich Classic,
Yeah.
and a lot of different things. So we can definitely make that happen. But call that number, and we'll start that conversation. We can get it done.
Thank you for your call, Mr. Ed.
Yes.
Brother Ed.
All right,
Thank
guys.
you.
All right. And listen, man, time sure passed.
Oh, yeah.
Time flies when you're
Flies,
having fun,
man.
right?
Flies.
Well, listen, it's been a pleasure to have you, Mr. James. And again, we bring you greetings on behalf of the New Orleans Regional Black Chamber of Commerce. Myself, Anthony Bridges.
That would be Coulon Smith. And you can reach me at nrbcc.chairman2025@gmail.com.
That's a lot, Ed.
And we will see you next week.
Thank you, guys.
And next week we will have none other than Terry Scott.